I honestly didn't know a lot going into this movie. And so I was treated with a surprise, and I found this movie a pretty excellent movie. Like I said, I didn't know a lot going into this movie. All I knew is that Christopher Plummer was in it, his character has dementia, and something about him being a Holocaust survivor. Turns out, this is more of a mystery thriller. I think one of the best ways to describe this is not as great as these two movies I'm about to mention, but it feels like a mixture of Munich meets Memento. Wrap your brain around that one. As I said, it stars Christopher Plummer. At the beginning of the movie, he wakes up, he's in a nursing home, he has dementia, he's looking for his wife. However, his wife had died recently.
Where's my wife?
Mr. Goodman, you can't be sneaking up on me like that.
Where's my wife? Where's Ruth?
Mr. Goodman, your wife passed away about a week ago.
Now in strolls his friend played by Martin Landau. He tells Christopher Plummer that, hey, you had a promise that you need to fulfill. You promised that after your wife died, you would do this for me, and for her, and for us all. So because Christopher Plummer has dementia, his friend writes down a list of all these things he has to do and accomplish. So with his handwritten letter, he escapes the nursing home and goes on a mission. I honestly love how this plays out because we only know as much as he does, and it left me wondering what the heck he's going to be doing. Turns out, he was a Holocaust survivor from Auschwitz, and one of the men responsible for a bunch of the horrors there, and one of the men responsible for all that death, possibly escaped to America under a different name. A name of one of the dead Jews. There are 4 people with that same name that came to America during that time, and now Christopher Plummer has to investigate all 4 of those people to find out who is the person responsible for all that death in Auschwitz. And so, like I said, it kind of reminds me of Munich in the fact that they're tracking down people to kill, an ordinary kind of person doing that, while reminding me of Memento because he has to read this handwritten letter all the time. He keeps forgetting things, and so it has that similar style. I was pleasantly surprised by this movie. It's a really effective thriller mystery where I was on the edge of my seat. I was actually wondering where this movie was going to lead. Because similar to a lot of really good mystery thrillers, you only know as much as the character. And so the information slowly comes to you, and you find yourself in the same position as our main character. It was very effective. Now, after describing the plot, it's definitely not as depressing as you might think. Yes, there are moments of intensity, and of course there's moments of sadness as well, but it has a little bit of that indie comedy flair. There are moments where tension is definitely there, but sometimes that tension eventually leads to a very comical thing. For instance, there's this one time where Christopher Plummer goes into a mall to buy some clothes. Well, as he steps out, it buzzes because the tag is still on the clothes he bought.
There's the receipt. Oh, there's your problem right there. They left the security tag on. I'll just check your other bag too, sir.
Yeah.
So Christopher Plummer's holding this bag. Well, he had previously bought a gun because that was one of the first things he had to do. And this gun is in the handbag.
Is that a Glock?
Yeah.
Reminds me of my first gun. You have a good day, sir. There you go. Thanks very much.
Oh, thank you.
And so there are definitely little light-hearted moments throughout the movie. Also very comical and very cute moments as well. Plus, Christopher Plummer is really great in this role. And some of his dementia things does make some comical moments, while at times making you feel really sorry for him. He was great in this movie, but so was Martin Landau and plenty of other people that were in this movie. Dean Norris also shows up in the film, and of course he contributes to a very intense moment. There might be still a little moments about his backstory, about other characters he used to live with, that you don't get a lot of information throughout the movie. And so it does feel that there's some moments in this film that could have been developed a little bit better. But overall, it's an exciting movie, it's a fun movie, it actually has some laughs to it, it's acted really well, and I definitely loved a lot of the twists and turns throughout this movie. There are definitely some really great emotional moments as well, especially one of the scenes where he goes to one of the people he's investigating, and it turns out that person was just another survivor from Auschwitz, where he at first believed was the German he was looking for. For the most part, it is a really fast-paced movie. It's only about an hour and 30 minutes long. There are a few scenes where I felt that it dragged on a little too much, one of those scenes being the scene with Dean Norris, but for the most part, I really loved this film. So I honestly have no problem whatsoever giving Remember 4.5 stars. So have you seen Remember? What did you think about it? Go ahead and comment. And if you like this video, please subscribe and check out my movie reviews of 2015 and 2016. As always, this is Bruce Gifford, and this was Just My Opinion.